Oh, I think we're live. Wait, hold on. Let's do the intro. All right. Now we're going. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Witch Lab Wednesday Live. I'm your host, Tiffany Boggins, and today is February 23rd, 2022. Today on the show, I have Amy Blackthorn, author of the new Blackthorn's Protection Magic, Witch's Guide to Mental and Physical Self-Defense. It is badass, and we're going to talk to her in a little bit. You know, we got some other things to talk about. First, I would like to say that I am sorry for not being on for so long. So the plan, the next scheduled guest was tonight. This was Amy. But for the past 4 or 5 weeks, the plan was to surprise you guys with a solo show. Just me talking at you for a while because I have a lot of things to say. I've actually been, storing it up and taking notes on my phone and doing laps around my backyard while I'm figuring shit out. So anyway, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, which I think I'm going to get into with Amy tonight too at some point. But yeah, there was supposed to be a solo show. And every time I was supposed to do it, life kind of intervened, last minute things. So I will do that eventually. But that's why it's been so long, because I had plans for something, but it didn't work out. So, but I'm here now. Yay, we're back. So let's say some highs. Hey, Christy, Betty Ann, Tara, Jean, Joe, Michael. Hey, guys. It's good to see everybody. Let's see. I'm trying to find my notes real quick because I've lots of stuff to talk to you about. All right. We did that. So one of the things that I had to go do that was a surprise trip was go to North Carolina to pick up an Artomat machine. And for those of you who don't know what Artomat is, it started in 1997 by a guy named Clark Whittington. He had an art show where he had taken an old, like an old defunct vintage cigarette machine and put his art in it. So you could buy it from the thing. And it was such a hit that the woman who owned the place that the art show was at asked him to keep it there. And then he started putting them in other places and getting vintage cigarette machines and putting art in them. So that's, you buy art for $5 out of a little vending machine, and it's awesome. I have a picture of ours. Hold on. I'll show you. This is it in the shop. That part where it says Witch Lab, that's actually a big mirror. But it's really beautiful. And then this is us picking it up, which is really fun. That's Clark's head right behind it. And that's Kevin to the side. And then if you look in the mirror in this one, you can see Caitlin. So, and then me and Jason. So yeah, so we went and picked it up. And so that was one of the Wednesdays that I couldn't do the show. Yeah, so we have an Artomat in the store. There are, I think there's 800 of them around the country, I believe. And they're international too. I think there's one in Australia, but they're in a lot of museums and stuff. And they're really fun. They're just, he revamps them and they're gorgeous. So yeah, so we have one, and you get to go up to the counter and like buy a token, and then you put your token and you get to decide which little piece of art you want. And they're all original. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Let's say some more hellos. Hello, Rachel, Susie, Peggy. Hey, Jim, Taylor. Yay. Artomats are cool. You are absolutely right. And it's funny because once we, Abigail did the TikTok to show everybody that we had one, and all these Artomat fans came out of nowhere because they're right now we are the only Artomat machine in Ohio. So, you can come check it out. And we're constantly getting new art because we're constantly selling out of it. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks now since we got it. And yeah, but they're so cute. And the staff is trying really hard to not buy them all. So, so if you want to check them out, you should come in. Let's see. Taylor says, so excited you've opened your shop where you have. Blessed be. Oh, thank you. I love Franklinton. It's been my second home for 8 years now, ever since I started, hanging out in Franklinton at the Vanderelli room and all of that. I just love it over there. So yeah, I like being there a lot. Let's see. Welcome back. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. I would love a solo show too. And like I said, I have a lot to say. And Amy is running a little bit late today, so that's okay. So you might get some of it. You never know. We might get there. Let's see. I just want to make sure. Oh, hello from Arkansas. That's cool. Very cool. Thank you, Michael. I know I said hi to you already, but sometimes I can't read the comments at the same time I'm reading the names. And Christy said hello from Michigan. That's awesome. Yay. Okay, so yeah, it's a little more relaxed because I'm not rushed to get my guest out here because she's not waiting. So we're all good. But I do have things to tell you besides the Artomat, which is really cool. What else? What else is on this list? Oh, okay. So a bunch of people have sent me videos this week of the Greg Locke evangelical Christian rantings that he's going to go after witches. Right. He's specifically saying he's going after witches in his own congregation. Like, I mean, he's going after his own people, right? It's really gross to listen to. But yeah, he's specifically threatening people in the room, which is terrible. Hey, thanks, Steve. My hair's on point. That's my brother, everybody. But yeah, Christy, he is a fucking psycho, not my brother. Well, a little, but we're talking about Greg Locke, the fucking psycho. Come at me, Peggy says. But yeah, he's going off. And so that made me think like, well, I guess so much for the whole Christian witch thing, right? Like, I mean, I think Christian witches are valid. Witches don't care if there's Christian witches. However, Christians seem to care a lot. So especially Greg Locke, and he's going to go after the people who are in his group and stuff. Oh, it's just gross. Anyway, so, we're going to get that shit forever. But guess what we're talking about tonight? So that's good. And I will be very excited to hear what Amy has to say about the Greg Locke thing, because I'm sure people have sent it to her too. Someone on TikTok, Rachel says, someone on TikTok suggested he's doing that because the women are probably about to accuse him of sexual assault. Oh, fuck. Well, that's a throwback. I'm afraid of what that person might do to me, so I'm going to call them a witch. Sweet. Hey, Christina. Somebody else popped on. I didn't get his hat to teeth. John and Fritz. I think I got everybody so far. Welcome, everybody. So yeah, so it's some stupid, crazy bullshit, and you can't go around worrying about that stuff. You just can't. If somebody comes for you personally, call me, and then me and Amy will come over and take care of this shit. Hey, Jack. Okay, what else do I want to talk to you guys about? Let's see. Oh, upcoming events. That's always a thing that I can't seem to remember, no matter how many shows I do. Okay, so we have, we've always had the 2 monthly meetings. We have a third that we're adding to the lineup. So we've got our first Sunday of the month, and that is the Circle of the Dark Mother, led by Mark Williams. And there's always a different one. I know that the last month they had a spell bottle like building class, which was really sweet. And then we have, so then there's the book club last Sunday of the month, and that's the Cultum Librorum. Stop. Lupa, stop. Somebody's here. Somebody came home, and now Lupa is going to freak out. Okay, so first Sunday of the month, Circle of the Dark Mother. Last Sunday of the month is Cultum Librorum, which is the Witch Lab book club online, led by Jean. And I think it is, what is it? Hi, thank you. There she is on cue. High Magic by Damien Eccles. Thank you so much. That is perfect. That is the book that you guys will be meeting about at the end of this month, which I'm guessing is this Sunday, right? Yeah, it'd have to be. So you can either read it real quick or I think you got it right. Damien Eccles. No, you nailed it. Yeah. Okay. So Jean, what's next month's book? Do you know? Like if anybody wants to get a start on March. Okay, so while she's telling us that, the third monthly thing that we have now, we've got on the third Saturday of every month, we've got a monthly meditation class. And this is led by Scott Rupp, who actually is a part of the Witch Lab staff. He is incredible. Has a bunch of things after his name that I can't remember right now, but he teaches a meditation class. So it's not just a meditation, it's actually a lesson about some sort of meditation, some sort of aspect that you might be able to use as a tool in your own practice. So okay, so Jean says, I'm sorry, just to get back, the monthly meditation is on March 19th this coming month. We have 10 spots that we allow people to come in store for, but we want to be pretty spaced out. So there's 10 spots for in store and there's unlimited online. So I'll be the one who's actually your camera girl, getting Scott on the camera on the live feed. So yeah, March 19th. Okay, Jean says Badass Ancestors is next month's book. Sweet. Yeah, great book, great guy. I agree. I love the book. And I think he's amazing. I wish I could get him on the show. So far, no go. Tony from the museum's been trying to get me in there, but the Buckland Museum. So I'm trying to talk about. Was there a recording of February meditation? No, we actually don't. Okay. Full disclosure, we do record it, but we record it for Scott so that he can watch it later and see how he likes his technique, but we are not sending them out. It's just a live thing at the time. Jim says, After School Satan Club is ready to launch in Eaton, Ohio at William Bruce Elementary School on February 28th. That's this right now, 5 days. If you are in the area and have kids, baby goats, that would like to join us, please bring the attached permission slip with you to the first club meeting. Children do not need to attend William Bruce Elementary School to join us. I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool. So it can be kids from other school. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. All right. And the ASSC, After School Satan Club, taking place at Donovan Elementary School in Lebanon, will have their next club meeting this Thursday, February 24th. That's tomorrow. Man, so we have two. Let me put this up there because it's a lot. So we have, we have two different ones. That's amazing. That is awesome. Yay, Satanic Temple. I mean, the guy, again, Greg Locke, I feel like he's a fucking coward. He's going after people. Like, if he really has a problem, go after the fucking temple, right? Like, take on the big boys. No, you're going to go after fucking witches in your own congregation. Asshole. Anyway, hey, James. Okay. Real quick, finish up these upcoming events because I got somebody backstage, y'all. So yeah, once a month we do all those things. But March 23rd, so that's a month from now. I know that's a whole month from now. I want to do a solo show between now and then. I'll let you know when it happens. But Stephanie Rose Bird will be here to talk about her new book, The Healing Power of African American Spirituality. I love her. She's an amazing author. Her Sticks, Stones? I can't remember what it's called, but I love that book. Hold on. I have to turn my phone off because that's not show related. And then April 6th, Jason Miller will be back on the show discussing his new book, Consorting with Spirits. And rumor has it, I'm in talks with Mr. Matt Oren, so he might be stopping by. Oh, and there's things in the works for in-person stuff. It's coming. I'll let you know. All right, let's get our guest out here, shall we? This woman, she's an author. She's a teacher. She's an herbal expert, practitioner, cocktail mixer, and podcaster. She does a lot. She has a lot of things. Therapist. And she's written a lot of really great books. She's been on here once before. And this time, she's written this book, Blackthorn's Protection Magic. The rest of them they're all right there. Let's see. We've got Sacred Smoke, Botanical Brews, Blackthorn's Botanical Magic, Anyway, you know what? Let's get that badass out here. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Blackthorn.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, friend.
I missed your face.
I feel like it's been too long. I've been looking forward to this. Like, as it's gotten closer, I'm just like, oh, good to get to hang out with Amy. So, yay. Okay. So, welcome to the show. Let's get all these formalities out of the way. Thank you for being here. I'm going to pour me a whiskey.
Fantastic. I brought my Witchfield mug.
Perfect. Really? I can't get this. There we go. I got it. It's okay, everybody. I got it.
Thank you.
So, the last time you were on the show, you teased me with this book. You were like, I was like, oh my God, you know, the protection stuff that you know, and the personal security stuff that you know. And you were like, well, maybe it might be a thing that's happening. And I've been excited about it ever since. And here it is. And I have to tell you that I am going to let you talk in just a minute. But I got the book. And thank you to Gia, I believe it was, who sent it to me. So I got it. So I got a head start, everybody, and it's fucking amazing. And the first chapter, like it's just going to make you cry. And then the second chapter. So yes, fantastic. Tell me about the book. Tell me why you wanted to write this book.
I was super blown away when I had been talking about writing the protection book that I had in my head a year and a half ago. And in bringing this to my editor, who's Judica and has recently appeared on the show, and everyone knows how amazing she is, she said, when you put together a proposal, it goes to your editor, then the editor takes it to the pub board, which is it's a secret cabal of people who work with your publisher. And it's made up of people who know what the sales are and know what the people are doing. And so they all get together and say, is this a good idea? Will this sell books or not? And it's not just one person saying, I don't like you, you stink. It's just, it's really in depth, and there's a whole lot going on.
Is there one good person saying that? Is everybody?
When Judica brought it to the pub board, she added, of her own volition, because she's awesome and she knows I'm very silly, she says, you know, Amy talking about protection magic is really incredible. Like, she's not just talking about magic. This is her actual real life job out in the world. And so when they brought it back to me and said, hey, we want you to write this, they included self-defense in the title. And it just made my whole little heart sing, because I'd been teaching women's self-defense classes. There were special classes for individuals who were undergoing legal troubles and might need some help, more specific, very important realities that we deal with. And I was wanting to be able to bridge those two parts of my Amy-ness. We had Amy the Witch, who gets to go out and do awesome fun stuff, but then in the office, I sort of had to put that away and put a hat on, and you know, I'm incognito, and you know, I wasn't able to be Amy the Witch at work. Security is a very, very conservative field. I wore rainbow socks one day to an event, and I got shit for it. That's not professional. They're socks, dude. They're socks.
What was the event?
Just a lecture, not, you know. It wasn't like a funeral or anything.
Because it, specific to the thing, you know. Okay, all right.
So it really hurt to have to put half of me in a box most of the week, most of the day. I did it. I went through, people at my witchy work, they knew they'd have me bless the place before Black Friday. But security is a different grill. You know, it's either people who want to become cops or people who have retired from cops. It's just it. That's really it.
So it's mostly law enforcement people.
Yeah. And it was very dry and there's a lot of waiting around and like 1% sheer terror. Just, There's no in between. I I really got to the point where I felt like I was missing an arm because I couldn't do ritual. I couldn't talk to my coworkers about my dreams and going from working in a witchy shop and reading tarot to security full time, going back and forth. I felt like I was being torn in half.
For sure.
And so to have somebody recognize my time and effort, the sheer stack of accommodations and recommendations, certifications that I had was amazing, because I felt like for the first time somebody saw me as a whole person. I didn't have to put half of me in this box and half of me in this box. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting and it's unhealthy. The suppressing,
Yeah.
the not being able to be yourself all the time. And sometimes you have to do that because like you said, the situation dictates it. Also make your life more difficult if you don't do it.
Yes. So I was the head of security for 2 high-rises in Wilmington, Delaware. 35 floors of people. I had 22 officers under me reporting to me directly. I was the head of security for all of it. I reported directly to the owner of the company and the district manager of my security firm. That was it. So one day I would get into work at 5 a.m. I'm not a morning person. Given my druthers, I will see 5 a.m. from the other side. I will go to bed at 5, not wake up.
5 a.m. is instant pain for me. It's just instant pain. Like, knowing that you have to get up at that age. Sorry, go on.
It was not anything that I enjoyed. So I came in that day, 5 o'clock. I had to walk into my front door, set up my desk. The gentleman who watched my desk would then go downstairs to the basement and watch all the monitors until the next guy to came and relieve him at 6. We do our shuffle. So I walk in and I grab the walkie-talkie. I clock in. I'm getting my area set up. And I talk about it in the first chapter. This gentleman, he's got this very self-satisfied smirk. I'm like, whose canary did you eat? Like, what's happening here?
What's going on?
And he says, "So, you're a witch, huh?" No preamble, no nothing. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know my own name yet. And he goes, "So, you're a witch, huh?" Excuse me? My first thought is, Delaware is so small. Who have you been talking to? Who do you know?
Right.
Because Delaware's the second smallest state. There's not even 1 million people in the state of Delaware.
Wow.
Yeah. The NYPD has more employees than we have residents of our state.
Huh. That's crazy.
So I'm wondering, who did he bump into?
Small town thing.
Who is he Facebook friends with? Like, where is this coming from? It bothered him so much that I was so separate about the pieces of my life, he decided to go snooping and found Amy Blackthorn. And he's now going to take out a flag and wave it around the neighborhood because he found out something he wasn't supposed to know.
So what was he going to, like, what was the point of having that information? Like, what's it going to do with it? Like,
tell everyone that worked for me. Every single one. Not even 5 minutes later. He thinks that he's super cool and awesome, and he found out a secret thing. He has no idea and no life experience to know that he has now put my life in danger.
And no respect for your privacy whatsoever.
Nope. Not a single shred. Didn't even occur to him that not only could I fire him as his boss, but but really, just this. What is wrong with people? He's just patting himself on the back because he found out something he wasn't supposed to know.
So how do you find out?
Huh?
How do you find out?
That is a highly debated topic. He knows things that are not public. He knew things that weren't on Facebook, weren't like the CIA probably knows, but just below that, probably nobody knows. Crazy. Very odd, very concerning. And it bothered me more that it didn't even occur to him that this is dangerous information for me.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. I've had people show up at my house with claw hammer, threaten to kill my pets and burn my house down, run off the road into oncoming traffic. Like the number of things counting on my fingers, I ran out of fingers.
Yeah, that one was from a guy who saw your bumper sticker.
Yep.
Right?
And then I had a witch's heel bumper sticker on the back of my car, and he decided to run me off the road.
Was he like chasing you?
No, he was just behind me and happened to notice my bumper said witch's heel and decided he was going to run me off the road because he didn't like it.
Oh, I thought you said he was running down the road. Okay, no.
No.
To run you off there. Jeez.
Off the road, yes. Into oncoming traffic.
Wow. That's
People
crazy.
are unhinged.
Yeah.
They talking about the Greg Locke thing. It's like people, he's just blowing smoke. He's not going to do anything. Those people are missing the point. If he does nothing with it, he still gives the green light to the plausible deniability to anyone in his church who wants to go and do whatever horrible, awful thing. He's telling them that God told him, it's okay.
Yeah, he keeps saying that he has addresses, and they're gonna show up at your house. Jesus Christ! You probably have their address because they're part of your congregation, because they're in your wife's fucking study group, which he said that they're. He's crazy.
Gene, you totally.
What do we got? This one?
Yes.
That was when I pulled her for a supernatural sticker, and Cop thought it was a gang sign.
So I was leaving Mystic South, the last one that we had, 2019.
Is that like the pentagram?
The anti-possession symbol.
Fire stuff, like a sun? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I left Mystic South. I stopped at Phoenix and Dragon, which is just a bit north. On my way home, figure I would sneak in and sign a couple books. I get a migraine as I'm standing there, just in my face. Okay, I took a pill. I get in the car. Their exit of the parking lot is at a light. So I'm at the light, waiting for the light to turn, got my turn signal on. Sitting at this corner of the light is a local cop car. So he goes. Light turns green, I go. How he saw anything on my car at all, I have no idea. He saw the front of my car. I'm sitting there. Drives past. I get in the left lane. I'm going to make the on-ramp onto the highway right here. He gets out of the lane, lets me pass him, gets behind me, and pulls me over. That quick. There's 200 feet. 200 feet. So I'm on the side of the road on an on-ramp to a, 10 lane wide highway going, what the hell is going on? So he comes up to the side of me. I got my window rolled down. I am dressed for Mystic South. I am in a pink skater dress covered in ribbons, and there's probably glitter on half of me. So he walks up to the thing. He says, excuse me, ma'am. Yes, officer, what can I do for you? I noticed you have a license plate frame on your license. Okay. Well, that's illegal here. How long have you lived here? My plates obviously say I'm from Delaware. I don't live here.
Finest.
So not only that, he doesn't know me from Adam. I did in criminal justice a fair amount of years. Having a license plate frame on your license plate, even if I lived in the state of Georgia, they call them a secondary offense. Primary offense, you pull somebody over for. Secondary offense means, if you feel like a jackass, you can give them a ticket for it, but you can't pull people over for having a license plate frame on their car out of state. So this jackass he keeps talking. I'm not going to give you anything. This is my actual job. I can sit here all day. You want to sit here? I'll sit here too. He takes my information. He goes back to the car. Well, I noticed when he was on his way up, he stopped to look at the supernatural sticker on my car. It's a black sticker on a black tinted white window. Mm-hmm. So you actually have to look at it to even notice that it's there. But it's the anti-possession symbol from Supernatural. Looks like a little pentacle with some fire on it.
Yeah, it's like a pentagram over a sun or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he goes back to the car, sits in there, gets out his radio. That mother, he called for backup. He's got half of the SWAT team out there pointing guns at me because there's a supernatural sticker on my bumper. This is before he even pulled me anything up, so he didn't know I had... Oh, well, they could have known you had your concealed carry license. He hadn't pulled my name up yet. He didn't have my info yet.
That's crazy.
So he comes back and wants to argue with me. You know, your driver's license is about to expire. Yeah, on a month and a half from now on my birthday when they expire. Well, you're
not like tomorrow, asshole.
Right, it's a month and a half from now. At the end of August, it's June. Your license is going to expire. Okay. Well, your motorcycle endorsement did expire. That's not how Delaware works, first of all. And second of all, I'm not driving a motorcycle. So you have nothing. I grow old and die. The license plate frame that he had a problem with was runic letters that say, if you can read this, you're my kind of witch.
He's clearly not.
He is clearly not.
You failed the test, buddy.
Thank you, Steve. So yeah, he's just absolutely convinced that if he sits there long enough, I'm going to incriminate myself and he can arrest me. Like this is not a thing. None of these things. Well, I should have your car towed anyway. For what? For what? You got me on a secondary charge. You have nothing primary, and the biggest thing you can come up with is you don't like the fact that I have a license plate frame on my car. It's not illegal in my area, and I'm just passing through. That has nothing to do with me. Do you really want me to get out on the side of the road and take a license plate frame off so you feel better about yourself?
They just need a reason to give you shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many.
Yeah, there's no way he could have seen my license plate frame before he pulled me over, before he turned his lights on. What exactly are you doing here? He had nothing.
He's bored.
Yeah.
He's bored and you look like an interesting target.
Because I came out of the witch store.
Mm. That's insane. Targeting people because they're coming out of a store, that's just fucking harassment, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Luckily the cops in Franklinton have a lot more to do than trail my customers. Franklinton's got an active scene for the police to handle. They're fine. Jack Trade wants to know where that was, state or county. Was it Georgia, you said?
Yeah, it was just north of Atlanta.
There you go. So I listened. I was looking up your podcast. I'm now a follow of your podcast on many things.
Hooray!
Yeah, because some of them I can listen to in my car, and some of them are different. You know, so on everything I've got you. But I was listening to the latest show. First off, congratulations, season 3.
Thank you very much.
We're both in season 3. Season 3 dance. So yeah, that's awesome. And your episode was so timely. It was so timely for me. So when I happened to listen to it, the newest episode on Blackthorn Grove is about pagan stores, shops, and all magical businesses, right? Pagan owned and pagan run, and sometimes pagan subject matter businesses. And it was so great because we have. I have things to say about everything you said in that whole thing. One, building a community as opposed to competition. I love this so much. And the reason it was so timely is because I was just thinking about, we have the Magical Druid and Blessed Be and myself, just because Seamus from Magical Druid kind of put this together, and Patty Wigington. We have a meeting coming up soon, which he's calling the Columbus Witch Mafia or Pagan Mafia. I forget. I have to look it up, but it's really cute. But I want just to have people I can go to with questions about, like, how do you not lose your own magical practice when you get caught up in running a business, you know, stuff like this. And you attacked so many of the questions that I have been thinking about recently, you know, and so it was really great. If anybody wants to hear that, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Pod, it's on everything. You use Anchor, huh?
Yeah, it was super great. I knew that I wanted to talk about things. I had stuff that I wanted to do, And my publisher's always like, oh yeah, go do a blog about it. I had a blog, 20 years ago, and like, that's fine. But it got to a point where it was taking creative energy that I needed to use to writing for free things that were just sort of spur of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can I get this material out there without having to sit and drain away my creative juices? And
right. It doesn't need to be
into a microphone
a big package.
Is much easier. It's a different skill set, so my brain doesn't see it as extractive.
Yeah, it was really great. It was great to just sit and listen to you talk and address things and lay things out, spell some things out. Why is it important to suggest other pagan-owned businesses? You addressed a lot of cool things, which I think everybody should go listen to. But yeah, it's nice to be able to talk to other people who have the same job, right? Like, regardless of what that job is, it's nice to find people who have similarities with what you do. Oh man, when I first opened Witch Lab, so 2 blocks down from us is Spirit of Tiferet, and that is owned by Yaffa and Oric. Yaffa and I have been friends for years before that. And matter of fact, when she first opened her store 3 years before I opened mine, she was selling my oils in her store. Because, the first thing I did when I looked at my building was I went down and talked to her, and we were like, wow, So it was nice because for a while we would have meetings where it would be like her and someone she worked with and me and someone I worked, and we would sit down and we would talk about the things that we both own witch stores 2 blocks from each other. We have so many of the same obstacles and shared experiences that it was really, really, really awesome. And then, she went and got pregnant. So, we couldn't sit around and drink anymore, which is a bummer. And then she got really busy. So we haven't gotten to do it in a while, but I cherished those times. And so having community and being able to problem solve things as a big group, as opposed to just like my shop against your shop or my business against your business.
Yeah.
Like you said in the thing, this is a growing business. It's a growing industry. And because the interest in witchcraft is growing because it's awesome. Right? Like, it's the fucking best. And I, when new people come in the shop and they have questions and they're like, I just don't understand it, I am so excited. I'm like, well, where do you want to start? We will start anywhere. And I very gently pry into what it is that they're there for, right? Like, you don't want to start, but like, find out like what it is they're interested in, so you can show them that, that part of the shop, or talk to them about why that interests them. Because sometimes they're so confused about why they're there that they get almost frozen,
because it's so much, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, and they don't know the questions to ask, and they don't want to look stupid. Nobody wants to look stupid, which I think is one of the worst things in the world. I hate it so much. I am terrified of looking stupid, and it keeps me from doing so many things. And I fight it a lot, but still, still happens. So I think that the best thing we can do is meet them almost more than halfway, right? They walked in the door. I'm here to help. Like, whatever I can do without scaring you, like, just gently. You like tarot? You like rocks? What do you like? What do you like? We'll just go talk about that for whatever. But yeah, I loved your whole episode devoted to witch shops and how important they are to the community, because they built, you talk, you said all this awesome stuff. You say some things about it. I'm literally just saying everything you said.
When I worked at Mystical Voyage, when they closed in 2010, they were the largest shop in the country. There was a coffee shop, there was a bookstore, there was gifts that was mostly stones, there was some like an incense section, then there was a holistic healthcare center and a yoga studio, and there's so much happening.
That's amazing.
And holy cow, so people would walk in the door and they'd stop dead in the doorway going, like, there's this, we've now spun them out, there's nothing left, they have no idea where they're going. And it's funny because
there's just a couch next to the door so you can just sit down for a minute.
It's just process. And it's so funny because you don't know what you don't know, first of all. But it's so lovely to have somebody who does get it, who has been there and done that, and that you wind up not just with shared experiences, but with shared language. So this was It's one of my favorite stories. Stop me if you heard this one. It's the first week in January. We're over the Christmas slump where everyone's sort of getting back into life. And it's dark and blustery and the seasons are changing and things are happening. And the door wings open. It's dark outside. The wind is about. So everybody looks because the door is now flown out of this poor person's hand and it's got bells on it.
And they're just like...
So this dude is in all black, but it's not like our kind of all black. So I'm trying to figure out what is happening because you can tell other, but like we're not there as to what other is yet. So his eyes are wild, his hair is all askew from the wind, and he says, "Where is your frankincense?" And so he's looking for oils. I go and grab the frankincense oil, and I grab one of Jackie's Coventry oils for the original one that's mugwort and frankincense and myrrh. I'm like, we have this one, we have some essential oils here, and if you like, we have like frankincense and myrrh in a bag. It's a pound of stuff. And he's like, you have the frankincense. Yeah, it's here. You can buy it. It's not a trick. But yes, the frankincense dude. Eyes wild, hair wild. He's having some sort of issue. Like, okay, like let's get you over to the cash register so you can check out and ease yourself, calm down, take a breath. It turns out that he's the younger priest, the new guy at the Catholic Church who was supposed to be in charge of ordering more frankincense and myrrh after midnight mass. They ran out. It's now Epiphany. Mass starts in 10 minutes, and they realize they're out of frankincense and myrrh, so they go to the witch shop to go get frankincense and myrrh.
That's fucking awesome.
It's my favorite. It's the best thing ever.
And I love that he's like an unknown random, right? It's just like he's just a man on a mission. Like, no time to explain. Where's the frankincense?
Emergency frankincense.
Where's your emergency frankincense? Oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh my god. Oh wow.
I'm gonna have to make emergency frankincense stickers.
Well, just I'm gonna make you a little art installation. It's like a emergency like a little glass breaky thing, right? Just break glass in case of emergency. And there's there's frankincense and a little charcoal in there. It's real bad.
Oh god! Just get a little dead lighter to glue in there. It'll be fine.
I'm telling you, this is a good thing. I need to do that. I need to write that down. Hold on. I haven't started notes yet. Let's start it right here. Emergency frankincense. Okay, so I actually do want to talk about your book because there's so much fucking in it, and a lot of it has to do, once again, timely, friend, fucking timely. It has a lot to do with what I've been kind of shadow working in my own life for a little bit. And so your first chapter on the mind, right? Mm-hmm. And what is psychic security?
Yeah, I broke it. I was really interested in how all this was going to go through. I couldn't figure out how to organize it. And I said, mind, body, and spirit. Genius. So
yeah. Psychic security, mind. So good. It's so good. And it it was intense. And there's this part where you do is it in that where you ask all the questions, right? So
yes.
You know how you're reading a new book, you're reading a new workbook, whatever. You're not actually working the book, you're just reading it right now. And so I was reading it and I read all the questions and I was like, yeah, I'll answer them later. And then I turn the page and you're like, and here's my answers. I'm like, fuck. Like, shit, now I gotta answer the fucking questions. Because I didn't want your answers to influence my answers. So I had to now I can't go any further till I answer these goddamn questions. So I'll only sit down and answer those questions.
Peggy, it's out on Monday.
Really smart, by the way. That was a really smart way to do it. And yes.
Thank you.
All right. Maybe we should talk to people for a second. Yes. When's the book come out? So the book comes out Monday. We should be getting ours in the shop soon. I mean, we made the order couple weeks ago. So hopefully I'll have them, and you have them on your website for pre-order, and they get autographed.
Yes. They are available. They just came Friday maybe, and then I got my second order of books because I already sold out the first box. So they came today. So I opened the door for the UPS guy after therapy, and like there's 3 big boxes stacked up on my porch. I'm like, oh yeah, books.
What? Okay, you said we can get on your website. What is your website?
Blackthornsbotanicals.com.
Blackthornsbotanicals.com. Yeah. It's easier to type.
If you don't spot it right away, there's a search feature. So you just type in autograph and it'll pull up all my books, and you can have whichever ones you don't already own.
Perfect. I think how many do you have now? With this
4.
4?
I just turned in the 5th one to Judica on New Year's Day.
So you have another book coming out
next January.
You people always do this to me, you damn authors. I'm like,
I wrote 2 books. I wrote 2 books last year.
Okay, what's the next book? What's the January book?
Blackthorn's Botanical Wellness.
Wellness. Got it. Right. So once you're nice and shored up, then you can grow and heal and be a better you, because you feel protected, right?
Right.
General thing there. So yeah, the first chapter is all about dealing with your issues, which was really blindsiding. Thank you. I'm reading a book on magic, and I have to do what now? I know that's what magic is, but you go so in depth into psychological issues and triggers and all of these things, and it's fucking incredible. Like it's really good.
When Judica went to start getting endorsements for the book, it's a neat part, but I'm always afraid like somebody will not get picked and then they'll be sad, or somebody won't like it. There's always all the ness that happens. And so they start coming in, and Judica will send them to me, and she's, this, here you go. And I got one from Cindy Brannon from Keeping Her Keys.
Yeah.
Those of you playing the home game, Cindy is an actual PhD in psychology. She's has been a psychologist for however long. But her mentioning the time and resources that I put into making sure that talking about therapy, complex PTSD treatment, she was like, yes, do the thing. Yes. Yeah. So the fact that actual PhDs are like, she knows what she's talking about. I got a little pat on the back for that.
Yes. That's awesome. Because it is really in depth. And the thing is, I know you. And so like, I was like, when I was reading these things, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that all sounds like, I'm sure that is absolutely. And so it's nice to hear that too from her. None of those are complete sentences. I trust you and your research and your appreciation for the fact that wrong information can hurt people.
Yes.
And so so I trust you. But if I didn't know you, right, and all of this stuff is in here, and it's like, oh, that's a lot of deep shit, man. There's the childhood stuff and all the other stuff, and trauma responses, and it's a very heady and yet easy. It's easy to read, but it is extensive in the way that you are going to find something you resonate with in that part. And that's telling you that you need to work on something, because, you can't do this sound mind thing unless you're actually doing the shadow work.
Exactly.
Right. Because you can't feel that comfort, that sound mind, that control of your own magic unless you're centered. So yeah, I loved that whole part of it, because it set it up for the rest of it. It set it up for like, this is the shit you got to take care of first before you can do any of the other things. I was actually talking about it with my general manager, Christina, today, because Christina is actually going to school to, be a therapist. She's been doing, she's actually graduating. She's graduating. Christina's graduating in May. But she, whenever I have letters behind somebody's name, I go to her. I'm like, what does this mean? What is this person a doctor of? So she tells me. But I was telling her about how impressed I was with this first portion, this first chapter. Fantastic. I'm trying to see, because I wrote a bunch of notes when I was reading it, and I just want That's about other stuff.
This book will pair well with EMDR. I'm so glad that you're starting. It's a really intense therapy. Those of you who are not familiar, it's eye movement reprocessing for trauma. So you are talking about your trauma, but you're actually holding little paddles. Sometimes there's lights, but it helps take the trauma out of the picture. Like you talk about this thing. I walked to the stoplight. Okay, how do you feel about that? Well, you're not there yet. So
this is what you're talking about. I'm like, what? Where did we get to the EMDR thing? Okay, sorry. I had my notes in front of the comments. I can't see them sometimes. Okay, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, it's a really incredible tool for trauma, especially fresh meaty trauma. It's something you can really dig into. It's an incredible therapy, and the dear friends, colleagues who I've worked with who work in EMDR are just amazed at how beneficial it is as a therapeutic instrument. It's really incredible how quick but also deep each of those little threads goes. There's a really neat visualization of this in an episode of the Vampire Diaries. In like towards the end of the series, there's the main character Elena is like, oh hey, I missed this person. What's going on? And so that he walks her backwards through the time they met and the time before that, and when do you think that you fell in love with this person? And they pulled out that little thread, and all of a sudden, all of the feelings and emotion and understanding and rawness in their soul was just gone because they pulled out that little thread. It's really incredible as a therapeutic tool.
And so is this a form of hypnosis, you said?
Somebody might think it was related from the outside.
Okay.
You're talking to each other. It's a very low energy input. They're trying to be very calm and very rational, but you're more or less talking to each other while you're holding like a joy buzzer or a game controller. As it's doing this thing, it's buzzing through your hands, so it's involving more than one sense at one time.
Got you.
So you're pulling those things out because your brain is like, okay, this is what we're doing now, and it's able to de-emphasize the things that you want to go away, and so it takes out that the sting of it. It's really neat.
Yeah. So Rachel says, I'm scared, but I'm ready to be done carrying this shit around with me. This helps me feel a little less scared about it. That's awesome. Yes. Yes. And now I understand why you're scared, because it is every time I start to do any sort of work in that vein, right? Like shadow work and stuff, there's a point where it is like, it's hard and you have to, but man, this whole thing of like kind of shutting down the emotional aspect of the situation, I think that's amazing. What's that?
I was going to say, this is a really fantastic guidebook. Pete Walker really dives into what creates complex PTSD and how that's separate from traditional PTSD. And it's a great book, Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving. You can see I was making a lot of notes for the protection book. That's one of my main sources.
So, and so CPSD, complex PSD, oh my God. What is it? Complex?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
PSTD.
PTSD. Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Somebody fire me. But the complex part, that means it comes from childhood. That's all I'm trying to get to with this.
Yes.
So that means that it happened at a time before, where you weren't in control. This is something that you are dragging around and you need to let it go, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that I did not know. I'd never heard that simple explanation of it before.
There's a very interesting diagnostic criteria that goes along with complex PTSD. You ask somebody about their dreams. Then you're like, oh, I dreamed I was a donkey or whatever it was. Is it in color or is it in black and white? Most people dream in color. If you were dreaming in black and white, means that trauma happened before you were verbal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So, if you dream in black and white about this one thing, is that trauma related to that thing, or do those people always dream in black and white?
It's a good percentage of the time they're dreaming in black and white.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That is fascinating. That I've never
didn't have the language to experience or express
right. Yeah. And Sarah, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, no, brain fog is totally thing. I found out recently that I finally figured out what a dissociative episode is because I had to look it up from your book. I was like, what the fuck is a dissociative episode? Because I was trying to if you suffer from any of these things, then you may have had whatever. And so I finally looked up what a dissociative episode is, and it is basically a blanket term for anytime you feel outside of your body or that things don't feel real, right?
Right. So if you are driving, I drive from Delaware to Baltimore all the time. My family lives in Baltimore. So it's like 45 minutes. If I were to arrive at my aunt's house and not remember how I got there, like your brain is on autopilot doing the driving, that's a dissociative episode. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. It's not a bad thing. It's just when it becomes habitual, when it's interfering with your regular life, you start to know that that's maybe a thing. But literally everyone does it. We just don't think about it that way as being an issue until it happens a certain number of times.
Another type of dissociative episode that I think this fits in this anyway is where okay, so this thing used to happen to me quite a bit where everything would look really far away and really up close at the same time, almost like real. It wasn't real. Like it was like. It was like I wasn't in my body, but I was looking through it, right? Or something like that. I don't know, but it used to happen a lot more. It actually hasn't happened for years, but I never had a name for it. But it sounds like that might be a name for it.
That's absolutely a thing.
Okay. Yeah, dreams are forever fascinating. Agree with that. Yeah. Is it because of eyesight? Oh, the black and white dreams?
That is definitely part of it. But it's the color that we express through our words and our language is what connects us to other people. So if you didn't have words, if you couldn't vocalize any of that, it shuts off part of your brain that says, I cannot handle this thing that's happening. So I'm going to be over here now. This is where I'm living. So,
right. Yeah, no, I said, see, Jack says it's all the drugs, Tiffany. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
It's funny the way these things pop up when we need them the most. When I was in my minor was psychology. Was that when I was in group counseling? When I was taking the class where they teach us how to run groups. My uncle was assassinated. It was super not a great time.
Assassinated?
Assassinated. Yes. I found out because CNN had it on the news. Like this is not good. My mom called. She had been calling me all day. I was in a workshop. It was an unarmed defense class for firearms instructors on weapon retention. So it was an all-day class. You have to beat the crap out of a guy to graduate. Like it's a whole thing. But it's an all-day. It's like 8 to 5 class.
Mm-hmm.
And you're running and jumping, climbing trees, shooting guns while you're up there. But my mom kept calling. I'm like, okay, the class is over. I can call her back now. She let me know that he had died. I was supposed to leave the next day to go to Canada for work. And she's like, look, the flight from Afghanistan back to Dover is long and it's going to be a couple days. So like go do work things, handle whatever work you can handle. It's going to be a bit before we have any services. Like handle your business. So I go home and pack up my stuff and go. Just sort of like an odd fog. I got the details from CNN in the airport at the gate waiting to get on my plane to go to Toronto.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was fucking awful. But being in that class and going through the process of grief, while we're talking about grief in running a group based around grief, Other students found it helpful that I was able to speak about the things that I was experiencing and apply it to the context of therapeutic elements of what we're talking about. And so like they're like, okay, well, what about the stages of grief that they're talking about? And it's like that lays it out very neatly in the textbook. Bargaining and anger and all this other stuff that happens. Now, if you were to enclose this in a box and put a little steel ball bearing in it and shake it really hard, that's more close to what it looks like. It's not actual steps. It's just a tornado and you bounce off of things. It was very demonstrative.
You're like, wait. I can bring some light to this that we're talking about right now. It's much more visceral than we're making it look like, with textbooks and things. But yeah, it's just right into it. Oh my God. Yeah. It does happen that way when you are, it's the whole law of attraction thing. Like when you're working on things, that kind of stuff is going to come to you.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I've heard the most horrific shadow work stories, right? Where like somebody asked for help with dealing with this past thing, and then they are thrown into a situation where they have to deal with the exact same emotions that come up when they deal with this thing, and they are forced into it. This is why like, maybe I can do it next week or something. Dealing with stuff with like, family issues and childhood things and stuff is hard. And I think that we put it off unless we have to, or unless it's gotten to the point where our anxiety and our discomfort is actually forcing us to do something about it.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I signed this contract and was super excited. Like, it's going to be a book of my dreams and it's going to have little hearts and squishy things in it. And I'm going to be so excited. And I sat for 2 months and didn't write a single word. I'm like, okay, what is happening?
What? I was so in.
So we brushed up against this on the last time we chatted. But in chapter 6, there is a content warning for stalking and related behaviors. I was frozen because I couldn't decide. I felt like an imposter because I had gone through these really traumatic, scary, awful things. And I'm telling people how to protect themselves from these scary, awful things. I couldn't put the little links together. And so I called Judica, who is a saint. And I said, look, I'm having a hard time. Like, I know what I want to write, but I can't write it. I'm stuck. And she's like, okay, what's the problem? Because I don't believe in writer's block so much. Like, I got the Neil Gaiman quote, like, if I don't write, my kids don't eat. Like, I'm writing. And she said, okay, what's the issue? And I said, I feel like an imposter because I've dealt with these real, like, life-alteringly awful things. And she said, Amy, that's why we want you to write this.
That's why we want you to write this thing, because you're experienced.
It's...
Sorry, I didn't want to headphones right then. I just yelled a lot.
It's absolutely the thing, though. I was like, oh, well, I feel like a hypocrite. She's like, no, this is the actual opposite. We want you to write about this because you know the thing and you've been the places and you've done the things. You get to help somebody else avoid that.
Or get through it,
Yeah. So chapter 6 is my favorite and also the least favorite. It's
well, sometimes the hardest, right? Like definitely the
absolutely.
hardest and yet most rewarding. And seriously, what chapter 6 is what sets this book apart from any other magical book on protection out there. Absolutely. Ever. Yeah.
Those of you who have not gotten a copy yet, chapter 6 is an escape and evasion course. A lot of the pieces are taught by the federal government. It tells you how to not be a victim, how to escape,
Purity.
unlawful capture, how to ditch a stalker, how to lose somebody tailing you, how to escape duct tape, rope, zip ties, chains, handcuffs.
Which and us talking about that in the last show that we had together was one of the things that I was so excited about you writing this, because not enough people have that information. Like, you know, we are my staff just had a first aid mini class, right? Like somebody came and they talked about like stopping bleeding and tourniquets and stuff like that, and Narcan, and you know, it was like a mini little like thing. But and shops do, like businesses do that, but they don't do this. They don't do the like how to deal with duct tape and being you know held against your will.
And
right?
as
How to escape zip ties. That's what you'll learn in this book, friends. How to escape rope, method 1. How to escape rope, method 2. How to escape zip ties. How to escape zip tie. Oh, hands front, behind your back. Like, yeah, this is the kind of shit that we should be teaching, right? Well, I mean, criminals probably, you know, we still need to be able to, but you know.
And the hard part is admitting to ourselves and to our loved ones that working in a witchy shop, no matter how fulfilling it is for our hearts, it can make us a target.
Yes. Yeah, I know. And it occurs to me on occasion, right? Rachel, my friend Rachel here, that's important in my line of work. She says realtors tend to be targets. Of course they do, because they meet you alone, right? It's like a single woman alone. Like, you know, like that's, you know, who's there to show you a house that could be empty? Like, most likely is. There's not, you know what, Rachel, your job just sounds like a bad idea to me. Okay. Like, and not the selling houses part, but going alone, you know, and I know that Rachel is she's leaving us. She's moving away. She's not going to be a realtor for much longer, but for the rest of your time, I'd like you to go with somebody. Is that crazy? Like, but yeah, no, I see why you're targets, because the job description means you are a woman alone in a house with somebody who's looking at it. Like, that sounds like a fucking setup, right? Terrifying. You've been asking for, Jean says, I've been asking for more safety training at my work, ESL, education for international students, and it gets nowhere. And I'm sorry to hear that. It sucks that they don't take that into consideration, because I think that safety training is super important in all the ways, not only stopping bleeding, you know, like stopping bleeding, as well as how to get out of duct tape, right?
Right. Do you keep Quick Clot in your first aid kit?
I don't know. I have like a pre-bought first aid kit. So Quick Clot?
Quick Clot.
We'll be in there now. I actually just learned about the right tourniquet to get too.
Good.
Which I don't remember what it's called, but I have it written down.
Good.
What tourniquet would you suggest?
There's a little strappy ones. They're a little bit easier to carry. The one I really like actually comes in a little carrying pouch, so you can carry it on your person, and it's got a place on it you can write the time, because you have to make sure you write the time on the person.
Right. What's that one called?
Sure, I understand.
Apparently, my watch wanted to con. I'll think of the name brand of it. Oh, since we're talking, I did a video on my TikTok last week. I went into Target for whatever random thing. I don't even remember what, it wasn't important.
You did a Target TikTok?
I totally did. Because I walked past.
I love you so much. I think that's so great. I need to go look at it.
I'm walking past and I see this very pathetic section of women's defense items. They're fucking pink.
They're pink?
Pink pepper spray, black pepper spray, and a pink alarm.
I'm all for it. If it matches your fucking outfit, carry the goddamn shit.
Yeah, if pink makes it easier for you to carry it, knock yourself out. But don't get their pepper spray at Target.
Okay.
So I actually sent it to one of my people and was like, and they were like, "Oh yay, they have it." I'm like, the only thing that this is good for is for me to show people what not to buy. So it's a little pump It's got a little
just real quick. Jeff says, yes, I made it before the end. Oh, Jeff, it's only 9:40. We strap in, kid.
There's a lot of game left. So you look at it, it's the Sabre brand. It's crap. The first thing you notice on there is there's no expiration date anywhere on this.
Okay.
And then the side, it says 50 sprays or 50 applications, because it's a fucking pump. It's a pump. Like hairspray comes in a pump, not mace. Do not
like a Bactine type of pump.
Yes. Hold really still while I spray this angrily at you.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna shake it. Wait, hold on. Fucking God.
What they use for a safety is that you have to turn the knob and then push down. It's open to the elements, so it's going to get full of lint, and you're not going to be able to turn anything or push down. If you can get them to hold still long enough to squirt it in their eyes. It's just bad. It's awful.
Sir, can you wait just one? Hold on.
You're going to be really sorry in a minute.
Just 1 sec. You got like a nail or something I could get in there? So not that one.
Not the pump. It's just little. It looks like alarm. So what I do recommend someone gets, Mace is a great brand that has a jar about this tall, very cheap. They actually make them with a little built-in flashlight that comes on when you put your finger on the safety.
That's awesome.
Fabulous, amazing, and I love it.
Which means you might not mace somebody in the face who you know.
Right. So the little lid actually covers the trigger, so you're not going to get lint in there.
Hello, friend. Is Jean not macing her friend? Just kidding. I don't know if that was meant for that, but it's perfect timing.
So when you get your, and it talks about in the book, if you decide you want to carry pepper spray, you want to get the Mace brand gel. It's got a UV dye in it, so even if they scrub it with all the scrubs, that UV dye will stay for about a week, so they can shine a light on somebody and say, "Oh, you fucked up."
That's awesome. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Oh, hello, friend.
Hi there. Mace.
If it wasn't for Jean, we wouldn't have seen you. I'm so sorry. Hello, friend. I'm so glad you're here. And yes, thank you. Welcome to the chaos.
So if you go, you want to carry pepper spray, grab the Mace brand gel, grab 2 canisters. This is very important. I know they're a little expensive, but the reason you go out away from animals, away from people, away from everything, take one of the canisters and spray it until it is empty. You need to know how far it will reach, how long the spray takes. Is it going to over mist and hit some baby in the face? You need to know where it's going, how long it takes to get there, and how long you have to continue spraying it.
You need to be familiar with your weapon.
Yes, you do. You absolutely do.
Right?
So
use it. Use one. Don't be afraid. Don't make it the first time when you were actually in a situation and you realize you don't know how to use this fucking thing. That is so smart.
The first thing I wanted you to do is empty it. We're going to throw that one away. It's fine. The second one, write on the container, on the canister that you're keeping, a date 2 years from today.
Oh. Because
the aerosol in that can will dissipate over time. So after 2 years, throw it away and get another one. If it's in your bag and you accidentally squirt a little bit, throw it away. Just like your fire extinguisher, a little bit of that particulate gets out. What's going to happen is it's going to let all that aerosol, pressurized container, is going to leak out over the next day. And
I had no idea. I didn't know that about a fire extinguisher either.
So even if you spray it by accident, it's just a little spot. It's trash now. We can buy another.
Come and teach me how to live my life in Northland, because clearly I don't know basic things. I didn't know that about a fire extinguisher.
Yep.
I don't know how I maintain my house. I actually don't. It's crumbling down around us as I speak.
So even if it's an accident, throw it away. We can get another pepper spray. We can't get another U.
Right. Yeah. Use that whole one so you know what it's like. And if you fuck with the next one, get another one. Actually, get 3. And that way you've got the one you use, the one that you carry, and the one that you have to carry when you fuck up the other one. Just in case. Just in case. Or give it to your friend. Whatever.
I worked at Cabela's for a couple of years. I worked at the gun counter and sold a lot of individual self-defense tools. One of the ones that's really popular right now is a little tiny thing. It's about this big. It's bright red, and it looks like a water gun. and you think, okay, this looks like a gun. I could totally do this. It shoots a little pepper ball out. So instead of leaking out, and it's a tiny little paintball out of a tiny little gun. It's got 1 or 2 shots in it.
So a pepper ball is like a paintball, like it explodes on impact? Okay.
And they're very dangerous. Please do not buy this. Please tell your friends not to buy this. It looks like it's a good defense tool. It's not. It is more dangerous than it is beneficial to you and the people around you.
Okay.
Don't do it.
And what is that called?
I'll think of it in a second.
Anything that has a pepper ball, don't do it. That's what we're hearing. But Jeff had a question. Could you explain the difference between mace, bear spray, pepper spray, if there is one?
Yes. Okay.
Good job, Jeff. You made it.
So the gel is the easiest one that it's easy to use. It's easy to work with because they come in a couple different spray patterns. The original pepper sprays. One is called a fogger. It just lets out this fog of pepper
and is
in
that
the
bad
air.
because you're in it?
Yeah, I'm in the air too. I need to breathe.
Like anything that's going to be filling this area is going to be bad for me as well. I like the spray idea because it's almost like ectoplasm. Like it just sticks to them.
Yes, and the gel is a foaming gel, so it can get behind glasses. It just fogs. It looks like a pumpkin exploded on your face. Fantastic. Bear spray is a higher concentration, a higher capsaicin content. So what is on the market right now is capsaicin based. The original stuff was more akin to a chemical weapon. And that's why not even the police don't even use it anymore. Too many people were hurt. It wasn't helping anybody. It's off the market. So
the current like mace brand is pepper spray.
Is pepper spray. You're not going to find
Gotcha.
on the civilian market the chemical weapons stuff anymore.
Good. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Anything that takes them down is fine. And you know, less long-term problems, because what if you do hit somebody? That's you know.
Yeah, if you're at a park and somebody grabs you, you spray them and the overspray drifts into somebody's stroller. Like, that's not cool.
Right. Oh God, I have been a block away when somebody maced somebody or, you know, pepper sprayed somebody. And this was back in high school. I don't know what the fuck they were using. That shit was a long time ago. We're talking 30 years. So like 30 years ago, something got sprayed a block away and everybody got fucked. It was terrible because 2 people got into a fucking fight and somebody did that. And it was just
decimated. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything.
It was just like shut down the whole fucking block. But the idea of it just being like, you know, like I said, just I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of a funny way to put this, but like the brain slug or whatever, like it's there. It just stays there, as opposed to not like, you know, getting everywhere the fuck else or in a stroller, like you said.
Oh, the little pepper. It's made by Kimber, and it's called the Guardian.
The Guardian.
Yeah, it's a self-defense. No,
that's what you're answering, right?
Yes, yes. That was the bad one. The good one is Mace brand. I actually have a picture on my phone.
So Mace brand pepper spray.
Mace brand
pepper spray.
There's a couple different sizes, styles, canisters. It'll even sell them on Amazon. They can send it to your house. Mace brand pepper spray.
So Casey says, I took RAD. I forget what RAD stands for. Loved that class. The police officers that gave it were awesome and actually attacked you. I'm glad I did it. Would recommend it.
Mace brand pepper gel.
There we go. Mace brand pepper gel.
They make bigger canisters. They make ones with LED lights on them. All the bells and whistles.
You said there's one that when you hit the safety, it actually puts a flashlight on the target.
Yep.
Sweet.
I absolutely love it. That's what I carry myself outside of places where I can't carry more direct means of communication.
Oh, so this is what she was talking about, the RAD thing. Jean said, I heard way back in the basic RAD class. What the hell is RAD? Somebody tell me. That most folks spray in the wrong direction the first time because they're scared and not checking it. So your advice is on point. Yeah, agreed. And this goes back to know your weapon. Where, you know, do you know how to use the weapon that you're planning on using? If you have a weapon you're planning on using, you should probably practice with it at least a couple of times.
Absolutely.
Mortella says, years ago, I did BLET. A white guy told me I couldn't finish it, and I did. We had to stand in a room as if it was filled with tear gas. Oh, as it was, not as if, as it was filled with tear gas. That was the worst. Every bit of anything it wants to be out. Oh.
You have to do the Diane chicken. It's awful.
That was the worst. Every bit of anything it wants to be out.
Your whole face starts raining snot and tears.
Oh God!
You're just completely evacuated.
In your body, anything in your body wants to be out. That's what she said. That's what they're saying. Everything in your body wants to be out. Ugh. Oh, rad is rape and assault defense. Sweet. I like rape defense. Big fan. Martella says vomiting, crying, nose running. Got you. Everything inside is coming out. Got it. Well, at least in your face anyway. Different kind of mace makes you. Anyway, we can talk about other things now. Hey, let's talk about the difference between curses, hexes, and jinxes. Because that, you know what? That was one little thing that in the beginning, and that's like that's not even in the first chapter. That's like that's the stuff to know before, which, right?
Correct.
All right. That was awesome. And I loved it. So tell us the difference, friend.
So curses come first. This is you're shrieking to the heavens saying, this horrible thing has happened. Deities, spirits, ancestors, help me right this wrong. Your soul is crying out for justice.
And you're asking for help.
Right. External source.
Right.
Hexes are internal. I am declaring to the universe, I am going to do this thing because it needs fixing. I'm doing it myself. Like, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. It's just going to get real.
It needs fixing. So you're sending so you're using your energies, not deity energies.
Correct.
To
right the wrong.
Right the wrong.
That was committed. Jinxes are very low energy. They may or may not be intentional. You accidentally cut a guy off in traffic and he gives you the bird. It's about that level of involvement. So there is negative energy attached. Oh, screw you cut me off. But there's not a lot of intent behind it. So there's just a little bit of lingering malaise that can find its way into spilling your coffee in your lap when you have to go somewhere important, or something along those lines. You were really looking forward to that cup of coffee and now it's in your lap.
Right, but in the case that you're talking about traffic as opposed to the coffee, is that the traffic has a direction where your anger can go. Right. Correct. Like, oh, you motherfucker. Like, like that like second of hope your day goes bad. But I take it back. I'm sorry. No. But like, that's a jinx, right? Like that's like quick jinx. Whereas like when your coffee spills in your lap, who you pissed at? Your cat? Like, you can't jinx your cat. You can't.
No, but the jinx from the driver in traffic says, I hope your day goes bad. Well, that's when you spill your coffee in your lap.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a cause and effect, not two different. Got you. I'm here.
It's something low energy that's just enough to screw your day up.
Yeah, I'm always afraid that I'm going to go too far. Because you know what? What I've found about magic is that I don't know. I have a I have a volume control issue or a portion control issue. I have a control issue where it comes to magic, because when I manifest something, I get a lot of it in return that it's almost too much. I need to be more specific. Like, I just want one of these, please. But I worry about sending bad energy towards a person also in the same way, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm afraid that if I say, you motherfucker, I've never said, I hope you have a bad day to anyone, but like, I definitely called people dumb in their cars, right? But I also try to reel it back, right? One of the ethics questions, you say, how do you feel about curses, hexes, jinxes? Wait, I feel like you actually asked if you've done them. Where is that? Did. You totally did. But yeah, like I've never cursed someone, I've never hexed someone, but I've definitely done the flippant jinxy thing. And I try not to. Like, the the more I understand how energy works and how we can affect things, the less I try to put out that kind of thing to anybody, right? Because again, maybe you're having a fucking bad day. Maybe somebody just, died or something. They're dealing with some horrible thing. So,
since Mortellus is here, did you know that Mortellus contributed to my book?
I do. I do. Where was it? I know I read it.
Page 23.
I have to find light in this room. Hold on. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, actually, yeah, I remember this because her and I talked about this at one of the things that, I don't know, one of the things we've done. And I love it. The how to get rid of a curse.
Darn it, I'm not finding the page that I'm looking for.
What are you looking for?
I have it on my phone. I can see, I can cheat. So I had a conversation with someone recently. They're so against the idea of curses, hexes, jinxes, any of it, that she gave away a book that started to talk about it.
I'm sorry, say that again?
She was reading a book, going through and they mentioned hexes, and she's like, I don't want to know it. I don't want to think it. I don't want to. So she gave the book away. And so what I wanted to share, I can do two things at once. It's in the book, but I'm reading it from an older post. Why hexing is the answer. Okay. Because it is our right to stand up to our abusers. Yes. Because it is bullshit to tell people to just take that abuse. Because it is not our job to heal the people that hurt us. Because we should support self-defense. Because pacifism is one belief system that does not apply to everyone. Because karma doesn't work how you think it does. Because sometimes magic is the last recourse of the downtrodden and the hurt and people who cannot go to law enforcement or the people who are alone in their struggles. Because each witch has the right to do what they need to with their magic. And because it is not our job to heal our abusers.
I found it. It's page 11.
Thank you. In my head, it was at the end of a chapter instead of at the end of a section. But yeah, there's so much really amazing and beautiful things that can be done to protect ourselves and work in concert with the lands that you're on and the places where you are. Like designing differently shaped gardens to grow protection herbs to use in your protection magic later.
Oh my God. Talking about putting uncomfortable plants near windows makes so much sense to me. I love it so much. I want all the thorny, viney things outside my windows.
Yes.
the stuff about rue, right? And how the berries make you...
Chemical burns.
Chemical burns, that's it. Yeah, I was thinking itchy, but itchy's not enough. It's chemical burns. Much worse.
It's funny because that actually worked its way into our modern justice system. So what Tiffany's talking about is, I talk about rue as a protection plant. The Hestian and Vestian temples used to be ringed in gardens of rue because the fruit and the flowers come in contact with your skin when exposed to sunlight, cause second-degree chemical burns. Very nasty. So they're like, oh, you did something that made the gods angry and they cursed you. You were peeking in the windows. So that protection aspect of rue found its way into our modern justice system because if the judge was worried they would have to present a life sentence or put someone to death, they would carry rue in their little boutonniere pocket to ward off the evil eye from the family who they would have to sentence to death.
What? Really?
Yeah. So the judges started carrying it and they're like, oh, well, rue is pure and virginal because it was the virgin temple.
It was part of the temple. It was part of the defense of the temple. And so it gets correlated.
So now you can actually still see in modern courthouses depictions of justice with rue growing at her feet. And you can actually find it in the stills and the different artworks and different court systems, courthouses. There's rue everywhere.
That's awesome. I want to bring this up. So Mortellus, this is the person who brought us such wonderful facts as Santa is the patron saint of prostitutes. They're now telling us that peppers are nightshades. Nightshades are necromantic. Therefore, mace is protection from your ancestors. That's what I'm talking about. You give me the information I'm looking for. Santa, prostitutes,
Sex workers should all carry.
Yeah, pepper spray, ancestor work. Come on. This is lovely.
Everybody wins.
Hell yeah.
I will tell you, I was very lucky to be involved in some work here in Philadelphia. December 7th. December 7th is the day to honor, celebrate, protect your local sex workers. So you'll see December the red 7th? Umbrella. I'm sorry?
December 7th?
December 7th.
No, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. They at least in Philadelphia, they've had demonstrative events every year for
we've
probably
had
the last
Columbus
10.
Has some fucking for the books, baby. Oh, terrible motherfuckers. Oh, God, make me so angry. Anyway, go on.
There was a serial killer in Philadelphia, and because the victim of choice were sex workers, the sex worker community was under the impression that police weren't doing anything because all the victims were sex workers. So they started having a local demonstration for December 7th. I did an art.
Gene says December 6th is St. Nicholas feast, which makes sense for the, December 7th is, go on.
Works. I was lucky enough to work with some local professionals to do a photography series, bringing voice to our sex work community, saying, "Look, like this is horseshit. We need something more." I have exhibited it once at in Philadelphia. What is the? I'll think of it in a minute. It was actually a feast for Aphrodite, and they had Temple of Venus. There was a really fantastic event, so I was able to exhibit the artwork there. You can find the pieces that were exhibited on Amy Blackthorn Photography. It's a Facebook page.
Amy Blackthorn Photography. It's a Facebook page, people. Look it up. Somebody send me a link. Okay.
It might just be Facebook / Amy Blackthorn Photography. But the really amazing stuff that I was able to share, it was in an adult venue, so I wasn't worried about the small people's faces. So not safe for work.
Yeah. Also not trying to create any more trauma for children. Like, let's not bring it there. But okay, so what was it?
Oh, I had different sex workers who were volunteering their time, wanted to present a visual of how they felt silenced by the law enforcement community. So using
by what?
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement. Thank you. For some reason, I could not make that work in my head. I feel like you said cops, but I couldn't make the words law enforcement community is a really nice way to say that. Okay, go on.
The color red is the symbol for this movement. So we had each participant was bound by our professional that we had on hand, and they were silenced with red bondage tape. The professional who volunteered, who identifies as male, he left his wedding ring on. He was wearing a very nice sharp suit, illustrating the visuals of the very problems that they were trying to bring voice to. I used a blue filter on the cat, so everything looks very cold and pale. There's very stark colors with it, and I was actually really proud of it.
Well, we've got links I don't know how can I don't, because I use StreamYard, I don't have access to actually like clicking on it, but you guys can click on it or you can click on it later. I'm going to look at it later. I wonder if I'm going to try something. I don't know if this will work. Let's see. Nope, not so far. Nothing. Everything I'm trying is just making the screen go weird. As we're trying to figure out technical difficulties, Mortellus is dealing with home stuff. One of the twins just now. Mommy, are those witches? Yeah. Hey, yes, they're very cool. I'm a witch. Am I cool? So what I get from this is the twins think we're cool. I'm gonna high five Amy real quick. Yeah, no, we think you're cool too, though. Of course, obviously. Mortellus is coming to the show at some point.
September 16th.
Did she say? Did they say that somewhere? Like, what, do you already know that?
I'm helper.
What?
I'm helper. I help.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, Mortellus is coming to the show September 16th. Is that right? No, wait. No, they're coming to the shop September 16th. That is a whole different thing. Amy, you are letting all the cats out of the bag. That's okay. No, it's September 7th is a Wednesday, and Mortellus will be on the show to talk about, there we go, September 7th, live stream in person in the weekend of the 16th. Yes. Yep. So 7th for the show, 16th in person. This is all Amy. I was talking about the show.
This is all shame pouring out. You just can't see it.
I also attributed because I was like, "What? That's the sub 16th doesn't," and I was like, "16th is the live thing." So it was actually me too. It's okay. It's we have shared shame. We're bonding for our shared shame, which is actually no shame at all. Because you know what? We don't give a fuck. It's fine. Everything's fine. Whatever, bitch. What? That's cool. We're all good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Gene. Seriously, we're like 2 hours from you. I bet. Well, I don't bet, but I hope. Maybe we could get Amy to come out too. It could be a whole panel. We could do a live thing on the stage. Yeah, so most times when people come to Witch Lab, they also come to the Buckland Museum. So you can see them in Cleveland or you can see them in Columbus. But yeah, that shit's a thing. So, yeah, I don't know. What if we got a whole panel? You and Evo could come out. We could all just sit around the stage and talk stuff.
Carpool, there'd be hijinks.
And look who showed up. Just on time. Look, it's Tony. Tony from the Buckland Museum, right? Mm-hmm. You guys all know the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic is in Cleveland, Ohio. They're only 2 hours away from Witch Lab, and they are amazing people. Cleveland is 2 hours from Columbus. No, I don't know. It's like, it's definitely not 3. It's 2.5 maybe. 2.5. Pittsburgh, Gene, you are about 2 hours from me too. We're getting pizza and cake. Yeah, we're getting whatever you want. You want pizza and cake? Absolutely. You want pizza cake? Absolutely.
That's the thing that should happen.
All right. Really? Seriously, it's 3 to go to Cleveland? It's 3? All right, whatever. All right, fine. Whatever. Maybe I don't know.
Well, you know how Gene drives.
And Rachel. Oh. Slow, I guess. Slow ass bitches. Oh, Gene doesn't have a license. Well, now we know how Gene drives. But Gene will cook. You've earned a spot at the table, friend. Oh, Columbus to Pittsburgh is 3 hours. Yeah, okay. That's definitely more. Okay, for sure. Yeah. It's 2 hours to the museum. Thank you, Tony. Anyone else from Ohio want to chime in on how long it takes to get somewhere? Yeah, I don't believe you drive slow. I think you and I probably drive the same. Get the fuck out of my way. Move! and that is where, okay, so I really have made a conscious effort to try to calm down my anger during driving, right? Because I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. I have taken the Dr. Phil is actually where I got these words of wisdom, which are that we get upset when our expectations are violated. So if your expectation is that people are going to drive well, you're going to be mad all the fucking time. But if your expectation is that, you know what, it's going to take as long as it takes to get there, and people are going to do weird shit, and sometimes they're not going to know what exit they need to get off of, and sometimes they're going to need to get in front of you because they need to get over, whatever the fuck happens. Sometimes they're not looking, whatever, right? Like, as long as you realize that it's going to be a shit show from point A to point B, you're going to be fine. I've actually calmed my yelling down to a point where when I see somebody doing something that is potentially dangerous, literally I'm like, buddy. This is my new thing. Okay, buddy. All right, buddy.
I don't get road rage. I get road sarcasm. Oh, that was a good idea.
Oh, that was the best. Seriously, from all the decisions you could have made, that was the one. But yeah, I don't curse or jinx, or I don't yell. I don't but definitely I have judgments. I definitely have opinions about the
way. My judgy pants live in the car.
What?
My judgy pants live in the car.
Oh, yeah. I slip into them when I sit in the car. The cockpit has judge pants. That's just the way that it is. Oh, man.
Oh, DC traffic is from hell.
What are we looking here? Oh, Jean says, riding in my sister's car while she's driving in DC traffic. Oh, my God.
I have taken professional driving courses for tactical driving. I will not go to DC if I don't absolutely have to.
You shouldn't.
No one should go there.
I spent 6 years in Philadelphia in inner city with a car. I can drive in Philly with a car, no problem. Love it. It's fine. It's a lot of challenges. You got to be aware. You just got to be ready for anything. But fucking DC, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
The roads don't make any sense.
Philly's got potholes you can put a toddler in. Still not going to DC.
That's fair. Philly roads suddenly are 3 lanes, 2 lanes, 1 lane, 2 lanes, 3, 1 lane. But you have to fuck you.
You gotta know that shit is coming.
Okay, I think that driving in Philly for so many years made me look blocks ahead to the point where now I'm on the highway in Columbus and people are like, and I'm like, didn't you see that was going to happen? Oh, I saw that. It just makes your brain go faster.
Oh, yeah. I called that shit out 6 blocks ago.
Which is fine with me. I like it. I like it that way. My judgy pants. I'm wearing my judgy pants. What am I looking at? My sister had to take the armed forces driving class before working. Wow. That's crazy. Armed forces driving classes? So is that like
tactical driving on steroids?
And Sarah says they're a self-centered a-hole that just gonna do whatever they want to do driving and fuck everyone else. And so, okay, all right. I was talking about my daughter. I was talking to this, fuck Tiffany. I was talking with my daughter the other day about this topic. Judging other people makes you more self-conscious. Because when you are judging other people, you expect everyone else to be judging you, which means you are putting yourself through more of a fine-tooth filter so that you are judging yourself the way you say when you judge other people. If you stop judging other people, you will stop giving a shit about whether or not people judge you. which I think is
need
important.
that like needle pointed onto a sampler and put in the fucking bathroom. It has gotten to the point where everybody spends so much time judging other people's magical practice. It drives me nuts.
Oh,
Like,
I was just talking about regular stuff, but yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It applies. It applies to somebody in a fucking diner next to you. Like if you judge them for talking too much or doing something stupid or whatever the fuck it is that they're doing that you find unacceptable, but that applies to magic too. It applies to like, you know, what you're doing. I think I would be judged for. So I think I would judge you for. Mm-hmm. Right. Mortella says, Amy, I'm so excited for your book and proud to have been a part of it. Everyone run, don't walk to get a copy. I have to run for tonight and get these little twins to bed. Hugs all around. And I can't wait to see you all soon. I really would like to do a panel with all of us again. That shit we did the one time was so fucking phenomenal.
So awesome. So much fun.
I know. But what if we were all sitting on the same stage together with microphones? I'm just saying we could actually like see each other like react to things in real time and talk to like just saying.
I made a new shrub that I could think about all day. It was like, Tish, we need to have this. It should be a thing. There's those sumo oranges are perfectly ripe right now. Okay. And I used a Cara orange vinegar to make the shrub with it. So it's a vanilla orange. It's cream, like a creamsicle soda. Mm-hmm. That may or may not eventually at some point have some alcohol in it.
I went through the range of emotions there. Did you see that? May or may not. Wait, there might not be. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, we're gonna do
this. No. Right now, I can't. Can I have the adult beverages right now?
Right now, because of why?
I have a disease called chronic spontaneous urticaria. So I have chronic hives. I'm on a literal bucket of antihistamines right now. 400 milligrams of Benadryl a day. Like 600 milligrams of Allegra a day.
God damn
3
it.
Zyrtec. Like just a literal bucket of antihistamines. So the fact that I wrote Blackthorn's Botanical Wellness while taking 400 milligrams of Benadryl a day and still writing 5,000 words is a testament to the gods.
Because they were helping you so hard. You were lighting every fucking candle. I'm just going to light the fucking candle. I'm going to light this fucking candle. I'm going to light this fucking candle. all the way around. Got multiple tiers of fucking candles. No, seriously, sometimes you need that extra help from the outside to get you through it. Mm-hmm. So any leeway on that? Like any headway on the hive situation?
I was diagnosed 7 years ago, and it's been well controlled until last June. There was some stressful stuff happening, and my body's like, oh, I'm not here for it anymore.
Stressful trigger fucking everything.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
If I miss my medications by, we'll say half an hour, my skin will boil. You can just watch it blister. Like, cooking grease without cooking, baking, and the grease gets on you.
Yeah.
All day, every day, for 8 months. It's just a lot of medications, a lot of prednisone.
By a fucking half an hour, and so you have to keep on top of it like that.
Oh yeah, my phone is full of all my alarms.
What happens if you take it early?
Not much. I just have to adjust backwards. It's good for about 12 hours.
Right on.
But my alarm tells me every 7.5 hours, take more Benadryl. Every 12 hours for this bucket of medicine versus that bucket of medicine. That's why it was so important to, especially the wellness book, down when it's going to be available. Because January. We have so much baggage left over from people who came from Christian backgrounds. That prosperity gospel that Christianity tells you, if you're pretty, then you must be a good person. And if you're a good person, then bad things won't happen to you. And bad thing only really happens to bad people. So if you're chronically ill, you must have done something to deserve it.
You get into this a little bit in your book where you're like, fuck this weird thing you think karma is, and fuck victim shaming, and where do you get off telling me it's my goddamn fault that I'm dealing with this when you don't have any idea what you can't just chalk it up to God's will. Oh, you're in pain because of so you need to learn. You're slated to learn something from this. Like, it's going to make you a better person. Why don't you fuck right off? Oh, that's frustrating as hell.
Yes, it is, and we need to be done with it.
We do. One of the things that I wanted to bring up tonight, so like I said, when I started reading the fucking first chapter, and I was like, God damn it, Amy, this is so fucking timely. So one of the things, like I said, I've been dealing with some, throwback bullshit. Sometimes stuff pops up that, fucks with you. And it just so happened that one of my friends was also dealing with some fucked up, weird family shit. And her and my stuff are so same track kind of stuff that at one point she was at my house, and this was one of the Wednesdays I couldn't do my solo show because I was just like, you know what? She needs me to talk to her instead, and that's fine. But she started, I was like, what do you want to say to your brother? What are you so mad about? What do you want to say to him? And she starts going on this rant, right? And it was so fucking perfect for what I wanted to say to my brother that I was just like, can we do like a throw mama from the train thing? Like, I'm gonna dial my brother, and you're just gonna pretend it's your brother, and you're gonna say all that shit, but it won't be. Your brother won't hear what you're saying, but you're gonna say all that shit to him. Like, just, kind of get all your shit out, and he gets to hear it, but I don't have to say it to him. But Esther and I, we were going through sort of the same kind of shit. And she starts sending me these YouTube videos about a guy who deals with adults of childhood trauma. And there's only so much of that shit you can handle for So I took notes on it because I wanted to tell all of you guys too that if you're interested in looking up this guy, I think that his stuff is really great. And it's weird because his stuff made so much sense for me when I was reading the first chapter as far as childhood trauma models, right? Like shit parents did do, or shit parents did do, or whatever. But his name is Patrick Tehan. And I'm going to see if I can put this here. It's a YouTube. Yeah. Okay. So just look him up on YouTube. But he does, he did this one video. Fuck. My friend just sent it to me randomly. She was like, check this shit out. And it's 7 toxic family systems. Oh my God. Yours when you get to it, because you start crying. You're like, oh no, this is so, and he does like family maps where he, it's like emojis where it's like emotional, like, and he says these are heterosexual just to map them out, but these could be same-sex parents and whatever, but like he shows the emotions of the parents and then like almost collage worky like stuff around what those emotions are, and then like the children and what their emotions are. And he talks about possible problems you might have now because you dealt with this fucking bullshit at one point. And it is hard. Like you watch it and you're like, okay. And then you spend the next couple hours. Well, for me, it was like 1 hour trying to process it and then 2 hours trying to fucking forget about it. Like, okay, I don't want to think about that anymore. I've got other things to do.
Where's that disassociation I ordered?
Where's my dissociation episode? Where is it? Because it's not happening. All I keep doing is fucking, just sitting here thinking. And is that the dissociation? Is it that I can't stop thinking about it? Is that?
There are 2 parts of the whole.
Okay.
They're not the same thing, but they're 2 pieces that go together.
Yeah. So he also has a video called "Lies You Tell Yourself," and he explains why why you might tell yourself this as in relation to where it came from.
Mhm.
Like one of them is nothing lasts, nothing good lasts, right? So everything is impermanent. Like, you know, nothing will hold on. He's on TikTok too, Rachel says. Yeah, so I'm just saying, I think the guy's putting a lot of good information, but it was weird that I was watching these in conjunction with reading the first fucking chapter. I was just like, oh, no, I'm going to go do witch lab work. Oh, and then I'm going to go, oh, it's like, oh. Everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. On all fronts. Because when you ask to do shadow work, guess what happens? Bam, bam, bam. But no, it was neat because I was just like, oh wow, she's talking about these like what the caretakers were supposed to do or didn't do, and it was the same sort of information. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But it's important for us to think about. Right?
One of the editors was like, why do you have to use this word? I'm like, you're grown-ups.
Which word?
Talking about grown-ups instead of parents. In the section.
Oh no, I thought that was great. The grown-ups were
like not everybody has parents. Not everybody, you know, some people live with their grandma, some people are adopted, some people live with their uncles, you know.
No, I thought your explanation was perfect.
It was important to make sure that everybody knew that they were included because we don't get to pick.
You did such a good job. I mean, it is an ever-changing landscape to use the right words, to be as inclusive as we can, to use the right words, to use everything that we've learned so far. You did a really good job in this, right? You're like, no victim shaming, you know, you're and the things we just talked about. It's getting late. I'm gonna tell you, things are gonna start to show at the seams in a minute. But including the caregivers, right? Grown-ups. That's what you said. So when my kids' school emails us, they say caregivers, dear caregivers, because it could be anybody. It could be parents, it could be grandparents, it could be foster parents, whatever. So, but I like that you included that it wasn't just parents.
Inclusivity is very important to me.
I know, one of the reasons I love you and Mortellus and so many people in the magical community is that they're aware of the fact that words matter and people need to feel included. It is so important. The little bit that we talked about earlier where, you know, you had to separate parts of yourself to have your job, right? We don't want people to have to separate parts of themselves to have fucking anything. I saw the most gorgeous picture the other day. And I hope it wasn't fake. I didn't look at it any further, but it was like somebody was like, this person is a lawyer. And it was like a gender fluid, wonderful human being who looked sort of like Mitchell from Modern Family on the top, but wearing big heels on the bottom. And I was just like, oh, God, I want him to defend me no matter what I do. Like, you know, like you just, because that person is being allowed to be themselves and it's gorgeous.
Yes. I love their shoes too.
You know what I'm talking about.
Those shoes were spectacular.
Right? And they were just like, oh.
Big old spikes.
I know. They're going to walk into court like that with facial hair and those fucking things. Oh, God.
And that very aggressive clack, clack, clack.
I want that bulldog. Because that's a bulldog.
Yes.
And you want a bulldog lawyer. You always want a bulldog lawyer. And a bulldog lawyer in heels with facial hair? Yes, please.
All the lawyers.
What?
All the lawyers.
All those lawyers. All right, let me look at my list. So we've...
Yes, you had notes.
We've been on for like 2 hours. I know I have so many notes, and yet I was telling this to my staff before I left. I was like, I've got so many notes, but we might just fucking tangent the shit out. So let's see. Do you want to go through the ethics questions?
Yes.
I mean, is it fair though? Because that might not be fair. Because like I said, I saw it and I was like, I don't want to read your answers till I have my answers. because I didn't want your answers to affect my answers. And I don't
Right.
necessarily want to affect anybody else's answers either. So
That's a good point.
So
That's a really good point.
Here is a cliffhanger, bitches. Read the ethics questions and answer them. And then maybe whoever wants to, we can get together and talk about them together. Because I would love to talk to Amy about them right now, because I answered mine, but I don't want to fuck with yours. So instead, I'm going to tell you a story about one of my staff who told me that I could tell this story, because we were talking about protection spells. So one of my staff had a problem with their neighbor, and they had this neighbor, she lives pretty in close proximity. They had a dog, and the dog they left outside to just fucking bark, 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 and they didn't take care of the dog, and it was terrible. It was horrible. And at some point, my staff person wrote a spell to get rid of their shitty neighbor. They got rid of the dog. And so it's like, and she even said, she was like, that might have been my fault with wording, because I forgot that wording is so important. I should have, human shitty neighbor. Like, she got rid of the neighbor that was barking, even though that person, not good in other ways too, but like wording, phrasing, if you will.
Phrasing matters.
Phrasing matters, wording matters. And so, and I did ask them if I could share that story, but I was just like, because she was like, I fucked up. I said shitty neighbor in my spell. I did. I was like, oh, well, we all learn, right? Sometimes we don't get it right the first time. All right, I'm trying to see through. Shoes make the outfit. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. I hate that I have had to wear shoes that are good for snow for the past few months. It's making me nuts. I want to wear cute shoes, but no, I'm going to wear fucking boots. Which boots are fine, but they're not even cute boots. They're like, sloshing through the snow boots, which I've done the best I can with making the cuteness of it, but I want to go back to regular shoes. All right. Let's see. If we're not going to go through the ethics questions, which is which we should not. Toxic positivity. All right. Toxic positivity section. You talk about the traits that we develop to protect ourselves during times of stress. This was really, really, really cool for me. And you talk about doing shadow work and what the grown-ups were doing when you were a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the whole point. Like, what the grown-ups were doing when you were a child, and that a lot of that has to do with like how you process that. But that they were brought out to protect you in that time, but that you don't need them anymore. That's what it is. You talk about you don't need them anymore and how to get rid of them, and you talk about when you were talking about pulling the thread out, right? It's crazy how intertwined this all is.
Oh my God, yes, yeah.
Like, you can
go ahead.
It almost takes a 3-hour conversation just to get it all down on fucking paper, on the map, just so you can talk about the map, right?
That's why it's a very long process. But then once it clicks, like, then you're done. Here you go. Go back to therapy. Like, go talk about other stuff. I was really interested to see how it works. It makes me think of that. There was a game when I was a kid. It was a lot of marbles, and you stuck sticks through a thing, and you're trying to pull the sticks out.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Jenga with marbles and sticks, but it's like,
yeah,
you want to pull as many sticks as you can out without dropping all the marbles.
I know exactly that game. I can't think of it. It's like, a name it's a word we all know though, but we don't think of it as this.
The thing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, it's like once all the marbles fall out, like then you're done. You can go do something else.
Because you're not holding them up anymore. You can relax. One of the things that we forget is that we can let the fuck go of all of this stuff whenever we want. But it's hard. It's hard because we have so much attached to it. But to just take a moment and let it all fucking go. And then what's next? Right? Like you can actually clear it if you give it a moment. Like right, like stop fucking running from it, but give it the moment. Deal with it so that you can move on. Ugh. And you know what though? You know what the fucking bitch is that it comes back. Is that it's not just once.
Yep.
It's like, oh no, I dealt with this. Oh, friend.
Oh, pumpkin.
Oh, so
you
you thought you dealt. Well, you did, but that's just the one time. Turns out you got to do it a bunch. Okay, so I'm looking.
Kerplunk. Yes.
Plunk. What's Kerplunk?
That's the name of the game.
Oh, fuck yeah, Peggy. That is the name of the game. It's so weird because strangely enough, Kerplunk has something to do with the Artemet too, which is it's whatever. Talk about synchronicities. That things come together all the time. Tapestry, one thread, might not notice it missing. Also, I am so fucking done with winter as well, Gene. God damn it. Oh, you know what I'm pissed about is that it keeps happening. So Delaware and Columbus are pretty close. I mean, you guys are a little lower on like the latitude line, but we're pretty fucking close. What kills me is that it's like, oh, I can get used to winter. I can get used to being inside. I can get used to it. But I get that hint of being outside. Jason and I got to go outside and have a fire, like out in the circle. And then today it's fucking 20 again. And I'm like, God damn motherfucker. Like, it was so great.
It was 75 here today. And tomorrow it's going to be 20.
Exactly. There's only 60 here. But yeah, you get that feeling. Somebody posted a thing that was so funny. Like, you think that seasonal
affective disorder?
Thank you. Affective disorder is bullshit until you go outside when it's 50 degrees and you feel like you popped a Molly. Right? We're like, everything is alive. I am alive. I could do anything. Let's go out drinking. Where's a patio? Everything is wonderful. Who's got ideas? Let's talk about the next phase of our lives. Like, seriously, it just takes one day of being able to be outside where I'm like, and then the next day when it's like this, I'm like, motherfucker, how many months do we have left? I cannot handle this. Here, so in Columbus, we have bullshit weather until about end of March, mid-April. And then it starts to get pretty regularly good.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, we have had severe snowstorms in April. You're like, oh, it's Easter. Blowing sideways snow in your face. Not kidding. Like, I've had pictures of like, this is Easter Day. This is what the fuck.
My friend put shovels out in the snow when it snowed on Easter maybe 2 or 3 years ago. She's like, I told the kids the eggs are in the walkway, so they shoveled the walkway.
Oh man. So this Easter, okay, so the shop is now open 7 days a week, right? Which makes it harder to plan employee outings. So we've decided to do our employee outing on Easter because nobody gives a shit about Easter. And there's a metaphysical shop. Okay, so in Delaware, Ohio, which is about 45 minutes north of Columbus, is the town of Delaware. And in Delaware, there is a shop called Raven's Cauldrons, which is owned by my friend Brian, and is a beautiful shop, and it's wonderful. And they turned all the upstairs apartments into escape rooms that are witch themed. So for our company outing, we're going on Easter to go to these witch themed escape rooms at Raven's Cauldron in Delaware. For anybody who wants to go visit them, Brian is amazing.
That sounds amazing.
Secondary location too, but yeah, I know. I'm like, yay! Our staff meetings have gotten top fucking level. Let me tell you, like now, like our staff meetings consist. Well, the last one was like first aid and Narcan training, but starting this one, we're going to start having different trainings every month. So like, as in like somebody wants to present something and the rest of the staff, we all just get to talk about it. And so we're doing a lot of educational shit.
That makes me so happy.
It makes me so happy too. Like, I just want to know, like, you work in a metaphysical shop and none of us know everything. So it's like, tell me where you want to learn more. Like, what are you afraid people are going to ask you when they walk in the door? What is the thing that you feel the weakest about? And we will fix that. We will make it so that you feel great about anything anybody wants to know. So we're slowly working on that.
Fantastic.
Well, we are closing in on 11. I feel like I should let you go. I really appreciate you spending all this time with me. You are wonderful. I can't wait to have you out. Is there a possibility of you coming to Columbus and Cleveland? Because you can't come to one without the other.
That would be amazing. Yes, I miss road trips so much.
Oh,
that was always my therapy, and I haven't gone anywhere since September 2019. I'm itching. I want to go out and feel the wind in my hair and stop at a rest stop. It's questionable.
So I know that you weren't backstage for when I was talking about my early stuff, but like one of the things that Jason and I just did this past month was go to North Carolina to pick up an Artemat machine, which is do you know what they are?
Which I love.
Do you know them?
Yeah, there's one at my local taco stand has an Artemat.
Yes. So Witch Lab has an Artemat. We are the only ones in Ohio right now. But Jason and I went to go pick it up in Winston-Salem, and we got to spend the night with Clark and the evening, and we just talked and bonded and stuff, and it was so wonderful just to be in another fucking city. And if anyone's going to Winston-Salem, visit Major Tom's. It's their weird little curiosity shop there that they are. And the chick who works the counter, her name is Molly. She's adorable. Just go in and say hi to them. They have a black goat. They won't let you buy it. I've tried. But yeah.
Well, if you're ever out this way, Baltimore has lots of amazing fun things to do. My favorite museum in the whole world is in Baltimore. It's the American Visionary Art Museum. There's a giant disco egg out front. The whole building is covered in mosaic glass, mirrors, and cobalt, and
disco egg and cobalt. Oh my god!
Just beautiful. The first thing you see when you walk in, so the entrance is here. You got to walk and you give them your dollars, and it's a big swooping ramp because they're handicap accessible. The first thing you see when you get up to the top of this ramp, there's the little gifty shop, but you look up and there is a dome that leads to the ceiling where there's a glass dome where you can let the light in. It's a moving statue. Raises and lowers on their little string. It's a bronze Icarus with stained glass wings that is life-sized.
What is this museum again?
The American Visionary Art Museum.
Oh my god.
John Waters has a permanent exhibit there. There's rotating exhibits. There's really beautiful stuff. There's one section, this artist carves tiny, tiny miniature things out of this flat carpenter pencils. He shaves the wood off and then carves the graphite into different things. Like a chain link looks like wrought iron chain out of graphite.
Is graphite that sturdy?
No, it is not.
So much more impressive then, right? Like, what?
Yeah, really, really spectacular stuff. The if you follow the podcast or the blog, Post Secret does the books with the secrets, and he has exhibits there frequently. He's out of Germantown, so
what's the blog called?
Post Secret.
Post Secret.
He started this concept. God, probably close to 20 years ago now, where he handed out postcards. He spread them all over Baltimore, and had people mail him secrets, drawn, written, pasted on a postcard, so they can get rid of them.
Oh my God.
There's a bunch of books. He's put them into different books that you can purchase. There's a blog every Sunday. He updates it with a handful of secrets that came in that week. It is life-changing.
That's amazing. Sorry, say again. Where do you find it?
Post Secret.
Post Secret. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's a .com. He's also on Twitter. He's just all over the place. Really beautiful exhibits.
Something you want to get off your chest. Post secret. Jean says she has a wedding in Mississippi in June. I don't know if anybody else is terrified of Mississippi, but ever since Mississippi Burning, so I just watched The Green Book. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so The Green Book is fantastic. It's a book. It's a movie. It was a book, but it's about two people who have to go on a road trip together. One is like
I remember the trailer.
Okay. So yeah, Viggo Mortensen is like the New York, Italian thug, right? And I forget the actor who plays Dr. Shirley, but a black piano concerto, like genius, right? And he has to drive him around the South for a tour by his record company, and he has to use the Green Book, which the Green Book is where is it safe for black people to go in the South. And it was an amazing fucking movie. It made me so happy. I forget why I was talking about it. Fuck, there was a reason to tie it into
Baltimore,
Mississippi.
Oh
my God. So like they're, because they're in the South, and there's the point where like they're in Mississippi and there's cops, and I'm like, oh no, I can't even. I fucking hate Mississippi and fucking cops, and any involvement they have with non-white people is gonna be gross. It was a very stressful movie, but it's not terrible. I can tell you, if anybody's afraid to watch it, don't be afraid to watch it. It's worth it. It's very good. It never gets that bad, but it's fucking lovely and wonderful. But yeah, Mississippi is fucking terrifying. Rachel's dad lives there. She'll never go back. Fair enough. Oh God, I feel like I'm holding you ransom.
Well, I know how to escape, so it's fine.
I know you do, but do you? Can you escape me and my the next book will be how to get out of Tiffany's grasp. It's actually pretty easy. You just have to tell me to go away. I'm pretty easy. But I am going to let you go away. I'm going to say goodnight to you and all of our fucking wonderful watchers and everybody who supports this thing that we do. Stop back again next month. This date, 3/23, we're going to have Stephanie Rose Bird. And then April 6th is Jason Miller. But between then and now, I'm going to have a solo show because I feel like I got a lot of things to say. As you can tell how much I cut Amy off. Hey, listen to me now. But seriously, I love you all. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And Amy, tell the people where they can find you.
So amyblackthorn.com will give you the first 2 chapters of every one of my books. I want you to know that you want it and you need it in your life before you buy it. So please feel free, go download it. It's free.
I can tell you I'm fucking impressed.
You can get autographed copies at blackthornsbotanicals.com. I have them on hand, so I'm shipping them out right now. Now that I can finally ship things out again, that no one was picking tea in China during the pandemic. It was very bad. So we had stuff that was out of stock for like 8 months.
Same.
Yeah. Blackthornsbotanicals.com will give you teas or candles or spell kits, autographed books, all sorts of fabulous things. TikTok is Amy Blackthorn Author, as is Facebook. You can find my author page there. It's a lot of ridiculous memes and
Instagram.
Instagram is Amy Blackthorn Author too, as well. So there's all kinds of fun things. I want to make sure that you guys are enjoying what I'm putting out there. I will be thinking of you as I'm sending in my next proposal for my next book.
I love you.
You're amazing.
And, I love everybody who's watching. I love you all. Jean, Rachel, Betty, Peggy, Jeff. I'm just going to keep going. Christina. As far back as I can go that everybody's still probably watching. I think that might be it. More tell us. I know they left a while ago. But I love you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. If you have any other questions for Amy, you can visit her on her website, or you can send them to us and we'll get them to her. But we love you all. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Good night. I will end this as soon as I click it.